Today's video is going to be a foundation review. I've never done a foundation review on my channel, but this foundation I was really interested in. It is the Laura Mercier Flawless Fusion Ultra Long Wear Foundation. It's the newest one by Laura Mercier. It has tons of good reviews. I went to Makeup by Mario's masterclass and this is what he used on the model and her skin looked flawless, obviously. And I was running out of my old foundation, which is the Tarte Amazonian Clay 12 Hour. Like, this is empty, so I really needed a new one, so I decided to pick this one up, and I thought that maybe you guys would be curious about it too, so I'm going to review it. First of all, I'm going to give you a little bit of info about the foundation. It is a little pricier. It's $59. There's 30 mils in here, which is a pretty standard foundation, but $59 is pretty steep. I'm just going to compare it to a couple more popular foundations at Sephora. The Too Faced Born This Way, $49 for 30 mils, Naked Skin, $47 for 30 mils, and my beloved Tarte Amazonian Clay is $51 for 50 mils. So it is a pricier foundation among the popular Sephora options. That being said, none of them except for the Tarte one work for me. All of them slide right off my face, so I don't mind paying a little more for a foundation that actually works. So it says that this foundation is specifically targeted towards people with oily skin, but anyone can wear it. I, for one, have crazy oily skin, like so oily. If I wear just like a regular foundation that's meant for normal skin, for example, my face will be an oil slick by noon if I apply it at 9. Like, it is ridiculous how much oil my skin produces. It is insane. Honestly, it got to the point where I just don't even really wear face makeup that often because I had that hard of a time finding a foundation. So hopefully this one is pretty good. The best cruelty-free option I could find was the Tarte Amazonian Clay, obviously. I used to really like the Estee Lauder Double Wear. That one would stay put for hours. I would still get shiny, but at least it wouldn't bunch up and become cakey as I produced oil throughout the day. I could blot and it would look fine, but Estee Lauder tests on animals. I'm not about that. Laura Mercier does not. So a little bit more about the foundation. Yes, it is pricey. There are 19 shades. Most of them are light. I think this is a huge problem among the beauty community. There's not enough shades. I've seen worse from brands, but I've also seen a lot better, so that can always be improved. There can always be more shades. Laura Mercier, get more shades. 19's a lot, but you could do better. So it's supposed to last for 15 hours. That is a huge claim, especially on my skin. I don't know if I'll test it for 15, but I'll definitely put it to the test for a while. Currently it is 10:30, so I'll wear this all day into the evening and we'll see how it looks. I'll check in with you guys. Matte finish, medium to full coverage. I'm wearing the foundation right now. You will see the application after I talk about the foundation a little bit. Definitely matte finish, definitely medium to full coverage. It is transfer, sweat, and water resistant. I hope that's true. I'm going on vacation next weekend to Aruba. It's gonna be super hot. I don't really plan on wearing foundation during the day, but like at night, it's still gonna be 27 degrees. So I'm hoping that it really is transfer and sweat resistance, and I guess I'll put that to the test next week. There are also no parabens, sulfates, or phthalates. I never know how to pronounce that. If anyone can correct me, that'd be great because I don't wanna sound like a freaking idiot every video. And it feels like a second skin. I didn't really know what that meant, but now that I've applied it, I definitely understand. It really molds into the skin more so than other foundations I've tried. Other foundations kind of just sit on the skin. This one really works into the skin as you blend it out. So I understand what that means. So I really like that. I think that's awesome. It's definitely full to medium coverage. It's a matte finish. We'll see if it lasts 15 hours. I'll do a couple check-ins in this video and we can really see how this foundation's holding up. I promise, even though it's gonna be hard, it's gonna be very hard, I'm not gonna powder today. I'm not gonna touch up with a loose powder. But I promise, for the sake of this video, I will not do it, and we'll really put this to the test. So now I'm going to flip you over to when I was applying this foundation and you can see my first impressions. Okay, so we're all zoomed in now and up close and personal, and you can see all of my flaws. Got a couple blemishes going. I have this burst blood vessel that's been there for years. I don't know if these ever go away. Does anyone know if these ever go away? I don't know, but it's annoying and that's really hard to cover. I'm lucky that it's close to my eye because then I can use Shape Tape, which is super pigmented, and that covers it pretty well. But just a normal foundation doesn't really do it. So it comes in a pump, which is nice. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm going to do half of my face using a beauty blender. It's a fresh one. I resisted opening this one until I filmed this video because like it's so nice opening a new beauty blender. I'm so excited. And on the other half of my face, I'm gonna use this Sigma F80 flat kabuki brush. I've always really liked this one for foundation. Before I found the beauty blender, this is what I would use. It's a little old and some of the hairs are falling out. Like this has been well loved. I've had this for like 5 years now and it's still in pretty good shape. So to keep things fair, I know I love this brush, so I'm gonna use this for the other side of my face and we're gonna see which side is applied better. I think it's gonna be the beauty blender side because this formula is pretty thin. I'll squirt some on the back of my hand. I mean, it's not that thin, but it's not like a super thick foundation, and that's usually when I find that the brush works better than the beauty blender is for super thick foundations. And as you can see, the foundation is slowly running down my hand. So that was 2 pumps. They're kind of small pumps. I don't know. 2 pumps didn't really dispense a lot of product. So we'll see how far this product goes. So first I'm going to do this side of my face. It's a pretty decent color match. So in the winter I get a lot paler and I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to find a shade that matches me because this is the second lightest one. But I guess we'll cross that bridge when we get there, right? So I just kind of am going to, oh, this is full coverage. As you can see, I'm painting my face. I'm gonna take my lip balm off so that I can go over my lips and not worry about spreading lip balm everywhere. I've done that before. Foundation does not go nicely with lip balm, let me tell you. This is pretty full coverage. It seems to be a little bit cakey just right here. I don't know if I have some texture there or what's going on. So that covered this side of my face and I have a little bit left, so I'm going to do my forehead. So it might be like 2 pumps for one side of your face, which isn't terrible, but I don't know, I would expect a little better. Hi, Fweed. Hi. I feel like you're in every video. Yes. Oh, I also forgot to mention that I've primed my skin using the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Primer. That's the one that I've been loving recently, and I primed both sides just so that they didn't apply too differently and I could really tell which was better, the brush or the beauty blender. Okay, so that dried really fast. I'm trying to blend it out more towards my ear and it's not really blending out. I think because it's already dry, it's not really blending. I don't know. Okay, let's try the beauty blender side. So I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna do 2 pumps. 1, 2. Oh, you didn't see that. Okay, well, I did 2 pumps. And I'm going to dot this on this side of my face. Let's see how this works. Right off the bat, I'm noticing that this foundation is blending in, like I know what they mean by the second skin kind of thing. It's not really sitting, oh crap, I'm not supposed to do that side, sorry. Typical Canadian, I say sorry for literally everything. I'm noticing just in comparison to the last foundation I used, which was the Tarte Amazonian Clay foundation. Why is that happening? I don't know if I like that because it's sticking in some places and not in others. That's really weird. I'll try to zoom in and see if you can see. I'm not sure if it'll pick up on camera, but it's attaching like here. You can see that it's stuck well, but over down here, it's not. I don't really understand why that's happening. I said understand so slow. I don't really get why that's happening. That's a little weird. Let's try a second layer to see if it's buildable. I don't know, maybe I can get rid of that sticky business. That's weird. Sorry, but as I was saying, I noticed that in comparison to the last foundation I was using, which was the Tarte Amazonian Clay, this one sinks into the skin more. if that makes sense. Not that the Tarte foundation is bad at all. That's not what I'm saying, or I'm not saying that it's cakey either. I'm just saying that this one kind of melts into the skin a little bit easier than the Tarte one does. Like at first I was kind of confused as to what they meant by like a second skin technology, but now I totally get it. It kind of feels like a second skin situation going on, but if it looks like one, I'm not too sure. It's definitely matte though. It's a little bit sticky, but I feel like I just applied some, so it might not be completely dry yet. But you can tell that this is for sure very, very matte. It's a little difficult to apply, honestly. It was a little finicky. As far as the coverage goes, I think it's pretty good. It covered up my blemish here. You can still kind of see it here, but for the most part, it's pretty covered. It covered my broken blood vessel pretty well, so I would say the coverage is definitely medium to full. They were right about that. The finish is definitely matte. They were right about that. And the second skin technology is definitely interesting. We'll see how it wears, because as of now, I'm not sure if I'm enjoying the way it looks. I'm being completely honest. Actually, you know what? After a second layer, it's really not bad. The first layer, it was kind of patchy. I don't know if that's because I applied it in dots. So maybe I'll play around with it next time and I'll just like smear it. I don't know, that sounds gross. But as I applied a second layer, that patchiness kind of went away. I don't know if you can see that, but it's not that patchy anymore. And I think I missed a spot on my temples. I totally did. Fantastic. As for application, I would definitely say that I enjoyed the Beauty Blender more. I think this just kind of absorbed a lot of product since it was a little thin. I guess the Beauty Blender absorbs a lot too, but it feels like the foundation went further using the Beauty Blender. I got much more of a flawless finish on the Beauty Blender side. It was much easier to achieve than on the foundation brush side. So if you're gonna use this, I would definitely recommend using a damp sponge. So yeah, those are my first impressions. So far, I think it's good. I'm just gonna go do the rest of my makeup and I'll come back and we can see how the rest of the products applied on this foundation, because I think that's a really big deal breaker for me, is if it doesn't work well with other products, then I'm not gonna reach for it. And then we can talk about some final thoughts. So I will be right back. All right guys, so it is now, what time is it? It is 4:22, so I've been wearing this makeup for almost 5 hours. Almost 6 hours. That's embarrassing. And I'm oily. I'm really oily, but it's not as bad as some foundations. Let's get in real close and personal. You can see that my nose is obviously very oily. I think that right here is more of a highlight. I get more oily right here. I'm oily here. My chin is super shiny, but the worst is the forehead for sure. Look at that. And that's not bad, honestly. It's usually a lot worse. And despite me being shiny, it's actually holding up pretty well. If you can see, it's not caking up or anything like that. It's staying put pretty well. So I feel like if you have normal skin, this would stay on you for even potentially the whole 15 hours. Okay, so it is now 7:30. I've been wearing this foundation for 9 hours with no touch-ups. And check that forehead though. Look at that grease. That's really gross. But the foundation's still on. It's actually still holding up. Around the nose it's faded a little bit, but everywhere else it seems to be holding up okay. It's gone a little bit on the chin. I think that's some excess lipstick because I fell asleep. It's just, my makeup's a mess, so I'm gonna take it off. But the foundation is still on after how oily I am. So I think this is gonna be my last check-in because I'm going to take this off because I don't like feeling super greasy. Anyways, so overall, I would give this foundation a big thumbs up because it's still on, and that is remarkable. I'm just not sure how it would apply over dry patches and if it would emphasize them or make them worse or what have you. So overall, I would recommend this foundation and I'm gonna keep using it. And that's it for this video. Let me know if you want to see any other foundation reviews or product reviews in general. I really like reviewing things. Let me know if you want to see any other tutorials or looks or what kind of videos, because I'm always looking for new ideas because I am not creative. So if you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!